This is my Minecraft survival world in the new 1.20 update. And for the last few episodes, we've been on a gigantic quest to finally fix my axe. And during the process, we actually now need to fix my diamond helmet as well. And so far in our progression, we have built a beautiful, beautiful library with our mending villager right here, and of course, the chicken. And we've managed to lock in the trades for the mending villager so that the mending book won't go away, but we still need 20 emeralds. And my emerald method for last episode was mining coal, which I discovered very quickly was not the best method. And by very quickly, I mean 2 hours lost to the cave, making only 9 emeralds. So in this episode, my plan is to completely revamp how we're going to get emeralds. And from what I understand, the easiest way is to get a fletcher. So to do that, I am going to have to learn how to make a fletching table, which we're only going to need some flint and wood. That is perfect. We can take this, and we should be able to craft that already. Just like that. We're already making so much more progress than the coal. Now the next thing that I want to do is before we bring in a villager for our fletcher, I think it's only fair that he gets a location that we can trade with him in. After all, the 2 villagers that we have right now both have their own houses. So this one is our blacksmith, and that one over there we already saw is the librarian. And after a quick sleep on it, I've actually changed my mind. I think it'll be a little bit quicker if we bring the fletching villager in and trade with him as we're building his house. So if we clear out a little area right here, I think this is going to be where I'm going to put the fletcher's house. So we can just go ahead and slap that guy down and start making our way over to the village so that we can grab ourselves a villager. And here's one right here, just going to use your own profession to lure you over to the village, sir. Thank you very much. Oh, there's villagers in the caves. That's not good. And there he goes. We officially have a fletcher. And just to keep him safe, that's not safe. That's not safe. Don't step forward, please. Thank you. I was gonna hide him in a hole so that he could stay safe, but I don't think that's going to be happening. Yeah, apparently I'm not safe either. I do want this coal though. And now we are back up. Lots of coal in hand. We can take this guy over here. There's actually going to be some dirt to dig him down into. And then that way he will be safe and also out of the way as I'm building. Plus we can trade with him. So like I was saying, this is a way easier trade than the, I believe, 16 coal per emerald. At that rate, 32 sticks is a steal. So before we get started, we might as well max out the amount that he'll trade with us. And then that should also level him up to level 2, which means that we can trade a bunch of flint for some emeralds, but that doesn't seem very worth it. And then we can also buy a bow for 2 emeralds. But we already got a bow last episode, so we don't really need that. And I think my best resource for getting sticks is going to be chopping down this giant jungle tree. And of course, right next to it, we can always start planting a mega spruce sapling. And there we go, we've completely maxed out what he can do for the day, but we did manage to get a total of 16 emeralds, which is almost enough for our first mending book. So we better very much get a move on building this guy's house because this episode's gonna go by quick. So the very first thing that I wanna do is take some of this bamboo and make a mini farm over here that we can take from. And there's our whole stack set down. Now we just need to wait the 2 seconds that it takes for these guys to grow. And the reason I wanted to do that is because I would like to use bamboo for the roof. I think it's a part of the 1.20 update that I haven't really explored much, so I definitely want to take a look at it. But while we're waiting for our trees and bamboo to start growing, we may as well begin on the house. And 1 mega spruce tree down should be plenty of wood for us to make the base of the house. I'm going to start right here, creating a little fence area for our front porch, and then we can move 4 over for the stairs and do the exact same thing, only this side of the porch is going to be a little bit wider. Next, we can start adding in our staircase, and because it's the Fletcher, I picked this build out specifically to make it look a little bit more flimsy. Like, everything is very wooden, very made of sticks, things like that. And I thought the stairs did a really good job of showing that. And they're still functional, surprisingly, we just have to jump up them. And then at the top of the stairs, we can go up 1 more slab, and this part is going to be the patio. We're going to go about 2 blocks in, and then I think that's pretty much as wide as we're going to need it. And then we can raise this up a little bit, so that we have some fences to guard off the edge of the railing, and just to make it look nice, we'll add some slabs right on top of these. And with that, the porch section of the house is complete. Next, we're going to switch into our smooth sandstone, and we can use that to start filling in the walls. And to add on to the walls, we're going to do a nice cute window that's outlined with some spruce trapdoors. It's kind of a little bit funky looking, but I think from afar it'll look really good. Next up, it's time to add in some front doors by going like that, and then we're going to make this an extra tall door by extending it with some trap doors, kind of like this. And similar to the windows, I also want to do an outline on the door with some trap doors, and then we can do it to the other side and finish off the extra long wall going this way. And on this side of the wall, we're also going to do a final window similar to the other one, putting some trapdoors to outline the outside. And now that the front of the house is complete, I don't want to get too distracted before we forget about this guy, who apparently still can't trade with me. I made sure that his fletching table was down there with him and kind of surrounded it in dirt so that he couldn't get out, and I'm hoping that's gonna fix it, because otherwise I don't really know why he isn't replenishing his stock, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. But while we're waiting for his trades to replenish, it's about time we start knocking down some of that bamboo. We're gonna need tons for the roof, so I want to make sure that we get a couple cycles of this ready to go before we're even working on the roof. No! Oh buddy! Oh, I'm so sorry. Do I have a weakness potion? I don't even have a brewing stand. I haven't been to the nether. Oh, that's so unfortunate. I guess we're just gonna have to go kidnap another villager. There was one more in the village, kind of wandering around into that giant mine shaft, so we should be able to go grab him. I think I'm gonna be nicer to the next one a little bit more. Instead of putting him in a hole, I'm gonna build him a nice, cute little dirt house. Keep him apparently more safe than a hole. Wow, look at that peak architecture. You know, at this point, why am I even building him a fancy house? Like, that is beautiful. And there he is. Oh, that was so close. Okay, now I need to get this guy somehow up to the top. There we go. You didn't even need convincing. You might need convincing to come to the village, though. Come here. And welcome, Totally Not Fletcher number 2, to your new home. Hopefully you survive longer than the other one. And maxed out again with 16 more emeralds. Definitely making progress. I think in total, we're going to want some mending on a diamond axe and a diamond shovel, and one on all of our gear. So in total, we need 6 mending books, which is going to be 120 emeralds, or just about 2 stacks. So although we're making excellent progress, we're definitely going to need more. And we definitely need to keep working on this fletching house. So the next thing that I want to do is start working on the other sides of the walls. And similar to this wall right here, I'm going to do about 6 wide so that we can put a square window in the center of it. Just like this. And then we can go ahead and add the same window to the other 2 sides. And now that we've got a majority of the house done, let's go ahead and check on this guy who is now actually resetting his trades. That's awesome. I actually had to Google it because apparently I've never understood how villagers work. So if you guys don't know by chance, the villager will not reset his trades unless he can actually be right next to his block to use it. And he should be able to reset his trades once or twice a day. But we are getting super close to the end of building this house. All we really need is a floor on the inside and then a roof on the top. And we also are very close to having enough emeralds from this guy. So I'm thinking if we use one last bit of sticks to max this guy out, we'll have 21 emeralds, and then we can move on to finishing off the floor on the inside here. I want to do a little bit of a pattern just going between the spruce slabs and the actual spruce wood, and of course stripping the logs. Then it will create a nice subtle checkered floor in here. And then we can grab the rest of this bamboo and use it to finally start working on the roof. This is going to be kind of a weird shape that I've never done before, so hopefully it turns out okay and it isn't too complicated. We're going to start by doing 2 layers of stairs, and then that's going to give us this weird shape, which we're going to balance out with some trapdoors, and they're going to be double layered so they're not going to look quite as weird from down below. And I am definitely going to run out of bamboo quickly with this, so we'll do a quick pit stop to the villager and go get a bunch more bamboo so that we can finish off the roof. And this might take actually quite a bit of time. And while we're waiting for that bamboo to grow, we can actually finish up the top of the roof with a little bit of spruce stairs that then can be merged into one more layer of bamboo, and then covering the very top with some spruce logs. And then we can add a little bit of texture by placing some spruce trapdoors all along the log. We can finally move our villager inside. Come on over here, buddy. I know you really like your dirt house. I know it's majestic. I worked really hard on it, but you gotta leave. And now we can lock him in here, where he'll now be able to work on doing, Fletcher duties, making sticks and stuff. I don't know what you do. All I know is you have a cute little table to work on that he's apparently climbing on. And then we can give him some cute little shelves right here. That way he can store all of his tools, watch his little tree, things like that. And the last couple things that I want to do for this episode is come in here, and because he is a fletcher, I want to grab all of the saplings that we have, which apparently is just oak right now. I think I've planted everything else. So we'll go with some cute flowers. And then we can go ahead and put all of these in here. And I think that is a pretty good interior. He's got a cute little stack of barrels for some storage with a couple different types of wood and of course a cute little flower and tons of workspace and shelving. You, sir, are set. Which means that I next would like to finish trading off all of my wood now that I'm not using it for some emeralds. And then we can add it to our stack. And I'm hoping that this amount of emeralds is going to be enough. So if we say hello to our mending villager guy. Oh, it's at 26. No. Okay. I swear it was at 20 at the beginning of the video, but whatever. We're gonna go in here and grab some books because I forgot about that part. And we have enough books, but not quite enough emeralds to buy a bunch of mending books that we need. So for this episode, we'll stick with the 2 that we got. And I think it's an okay compromise for how good of a build came out of that. So as I do the next episode, I'll probably just sit there and slowly build up my emerald supply so that we can eventually have mending on everything like we intended. But for now, I think this was a really good resolution because it was the perfect amount to put mending on both of the things that we wanted to repair. So we can slap it onto the helmet and then onto the axe. But unfortunately, that is all the time that I have for this episode. So if you guys did happen to enjoy, then consider subscribing because I would love to see you guys in the next episode. And speaking of next episodes, here's a couple that I think you would enjoy.